Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Um, you know, I deeply appreciate yoga's ability to both nourish and nurture us. And it goes, of course, way beyond that. It helps us manage stress. Every single class helps us release the stress. And I like to say that yoga really often is as much about doing or undoing as it is doing, because our lives are busy. If we take in any news today, we should, and I may repeat this again at the end of class, but we're the gatekeeper. And we need to be aware of what goes into our minds and sometimes close that door and not let it go in. And it's not about putting our heads in the sand. And it's not about not caring. It's none of that. It's really being able to have the power, and power's coming from here and up here, but this is part of the problem because we let a lot of stuff go in. And so, and the reason I bring this up is because our adrenals are glands that sit on top of our kidneys, and they are our first line of defense against stress. And as women, when our ovaries stop producing hormones like estrogen, that job moves over to the adrenal glands. And it produces different hormones, but they are the hormones designed to replace what estrogen was doing. And if our adrenals are burnt out by then, and a lot of them are for women, particularly a lot of children, or maybe a divorce or whatever, different things going on, death, then sometimes our adrenals are just so burnt out that we have terrible menopausal symptoms. So anyway, we can't change what happened in the past, but we can find ways to not make what's happened in the past who we are now. And we need to pay attention to the stories we tell ourselves, and the things that we think. But anyway, we're going to get started, and we are going to shine a spotlight on our adrenals, and they sit right on top of our kidneys, and they're right. So you guys know your anatomy now. You know your lumbar area, that lower back area, and on top of that's the thoracic. So right at the bottom of the thoracic vertebra, the 11th and 12th, are our kidneys and our adrenals. So we're going to focus on stretching them and twisting them, because this is how we nourish and release stress, and also just get these guys working optimally so we can enjoy whatever it is that happens in this brand new 24 hours that we have, and so forth. Okay, so come on onto your backs and draw your knees up into your chest to begin with. Just to release your lower back, one hand on each shin, making circles, just checking in. So this starts to bring some blood supply into this area. And then let's stretch everything out. So straighten your legs, reach your arms above your head. You might be knocking over a water bottle or two. So you're reaching and stretching, and then you're going to turn your body into a banana on both sides. So you can go to the left side first if you like, stretching the right. And if you're going to the left side, let your left hand grasp your right wrist. So you're going to take your legs to the side, and you're going to take your arms to the same side, making a bit of a banana. Keep that length nice and long. So we're now stretching the kidneys and the adrenals on the opposite side, the stretching side, the right side. We're making that banana to the left. to help it release toxins, waste, and stress. And then inhaling, come back to the center. You can release the grip you had on your wrist, stretching your arms, stretching your legs, and then take your legs over to the right side and your arms. And this time, your right hand will grasp your left wrist. And just making that long, sort of banana shape to release stress, toxins from the left side, your left adrenals, your left kidneys. Kidneys are amazing. They filter a half a cup of blood every single minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's just smart to take care of these important glands. And then coming back to the center, bring your arms down beside your body. Take your feet to the edges of your mat. Knees are bent, feet are on the edges. And now take your arms out to shoulder height. Lengthen your torso here so that your lower back is in mostly neutral position here. So neutral means you're not curving it up, nor are you pressing it into the floor. It's just in a neutral position. But you've lengthened from your tailbone right through your crown. Knees are bent, feet on the outer edges of your mat. Inhaling in place, we're going to windshield wipe our knees over to the left. Please go slowly in order to nurture and reduce the stress. A slower, more gentle practice helps the body let go, release stress, tension, tightness. And inhaling, feet are stationary, knees come back to the center on an inhale, and on an exhale, releasing both knees over to the other side. Inhaling, come back to the center. Exhaling, both knees once again over to the left. Take a breath here. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Exhaling, both knees over to the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. Bring your knees one more time in towards your chest, one hand on each knee, and now extend your left leg down in front. With your left hand on the outside of your right knee, take it across your body. So you're twisting in a supine position. Now, remember, you can, if you wish, roll over onto your left hip, but that's not necessary. Last week, we talked about how the sciatic nerve, the largest nerve in the body, travels through the gluteus medius muscle. So it's one of the muscles of your butt that you are stretching right now to create space for this large nerve. It's the size of your baby finger, which is why it can cause such discomfort. There's one on each side. So twisting as much as you require in order to feel the stretch through the glutes, the hips, and of course, this is also stretching through the kidneys and the adrenals. The kidneys, as I said, filter the blood. Inhale, come back to center. Draw this knee in, draw the other knee in, and extend the right leg down in front. With your right hand on the outside of your left knee, draw it across your body. You can take the opposite arm out to the side. The kidneys actually, besides filtering a half a cup of blood every single minute of every single day, they take whatever vitamin D we ingest, and I hope you're taking a vitamin D supplement until the sun becomes stronger. We need the vitamin D for our bones, for lots of reasons, but the kidneys help convert vitamin D into an active form that helps calcium absorption in the body. So by eating a good diet and practicing yoga, when I tell you it nourishes and nurtures, it really does. You don't even have to know, but we do have to create the healthy habits in order to have the best and highest energy, vitality, and of course, mobility and flexibility. And why I feel grateful for this science called yoga. And coming back to the center, draw the knees one more time into the chest, couple little rocks from side to side, and then bring your hands underneath the backs of your thighs, and we're going to rock up to sitting, and then coming over onto all fours. Cat and cow, of course, brilliant for stretching your kidneys, your adrenals. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees, underneath your hips. Again, lengthening your spine from tailbone right through the crown. On an exhale, round your spine, stretching through the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. Pull your bellies in. On an inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, draw your heart center forward, lifting your head and your eyes floating up towards the center of your forehead. Exhale, flatten the tops of your feet, rounding your spine, pull your bellies in, stretching the back. Inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out the lower back, but draw your heart center forward to open things up. Now, this back bend is definitely purging your adrenals in your kidneys of waste and toxins, very nurturing. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, drop your tail, bellies in. Inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, draw your heart center towards your arms, eyes rolling up and coming back to neutral. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, releasing your shoulder and the side of your face. If there's too much pressure on your upper body, just take your hips a little bit further back so you're not pressing too much onto your head, but stretching again through the thoracic rib cage, at the bottom of the thoracic rib cage, at the top of the lumbar. In the back of your body are your adrenals and your kidneys. So the adrenals produce 3 hormones, cortisol being the main one, aldosterone, and the other one coming up. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, float it through. I'm just trying to remember what that third one was, but I just really want to focus on cortisol, because cortisol, you don't want too much of it, but you definitely need it. The adrenals have the highest concentration of vitamin C, which is used to produce the cortisol. Adrenaline, of course, that's the third one. So cortisol, aldosterone, and adrenaline. But cortisol is essential for health to manage stress, reduce inflammation, maintain blood pressure. I mean, it's incredible what our body can and does do for us without us even recognizing it. And coming back to neutral, take your knees wide apart, take your hips back towards your heels. If bending your knees a lot is not helpful for you today, then you're going to be in puppy pose with your bums up, your knees closer together. But if you're able, coming into child's pose. So again, managing cortisol levels so that, yes, we have enough to do what it needs to do, which I just told you and mentioned to you, and there's even more than that. Managing the blood pressure, keeping us alert, reducing inflammation. But too much cortisol in the system is inflammatory, and it keeps us on high alert. It keeps our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight, active, and this is draining our energy, our life force. Inhaling, coming up. Draw your knees underneath your hips, curl your toes under, plant your hands firmly on the floor, spread your fingers wide apart, curl your toes under, and lift your hips up. Coming into downward dog, let's just gently walk the dog, one leg straight, one bent. Relax your neck, give your head a bit of a swing so you know you're not holding your head. You're letting the weight of your head stretch out your cervical vertebra. That's your neck vertebra. And changing. Feel the stretch in the backs of your legs. Be mindful. And change. And changing again. And coming back to neutral. You're going to lift your right leg up in the air. And then you're going to bring your shoulders more over top of your wrists and draw your knee up towards your nose. Take that leg back. Bring it forward again. You're bringing your shoulders over your wrists, bringing your knee towards your nose, not likely to touch your nose. Coming back, unless you work for Cirque du Soleil. And last time, bringing the knee towards the nose, shoulders over wrists, and take it back. Lift your left leg up. Coming forward, rounding your upper back, stretching middle, bringing knee to nose. And back up. Leg is up. Left leg. And knee towards nose. One more time. Take your left leg back. Bring the knee to the nose. And place the foot on the floor. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. And let your upper body just hang out. Keep your knees soft. And then bending your knees, slowly rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Maybe this is going to play. Oh, I don't know. Okay. And give yourselves a little shake out. Is it, oh yeah, you're turning the temperature down. Thank you very much. Okay, have sun salutations. So, feet are about a fat fist width apart. Engage your thighs, lift up your sternum away from your pelvic floor. We've turned the heat down. And then lift your toes off the floor. I really want to feel your big toe mount, your baby toe mount, the center front of your heel. Anytime you're standing and you have time to think about it, consider whether or not you've got that beautiful triangle, almost like would it be an isometric pyramid? Not isometric? Where the pyramid's higher? I forget what the word is. Okay. But you know what I'm getting at here? Well, that's a perfect pyramid or something. Okay. Shoulders back, reach up through the crown, half sun salutations. Your feet should be absolutely parallel if possible, so that the outside of your foot is parallel to the outside of your mat, as opposed to being turned out. Have a look that the outsides of your feet are parallel to the outsides of your mat. You know, a lot of people who stand like this have very tight hips. You don't. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, swan dive onto your thighs. Tense your fingers on the mat. On an inhale, lift your hips and let the crown of your head float down. On an exhale, bend your knees a lot. Really let your hips go nice and low. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, float your arms down, taking up lots of space. Inhale, feel rooted and grounded through your feet. They're not moving. Exhale, swan dive onto your thighs, fingertips tented in front of and just outside of your feet. On an inhale, lengthen the back of your legs. Let the crown of your head float down. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, lengthen your spine. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, float your arms down, taking up lots of space. Inhale. Exhale. Poetry in motion. Inhale, synchronizing your breath with the movement. Exhale, drop your hips, shoulders back, long spine. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, float your arms down. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, drop your hips a lot. Come into that tuck position. Inhale. Now try to keep your belly on your thighs. Visualize your spinal column like a string of pearls. Again, give your head a little bit of a swing. You know you're not holding. Exhale, release your hips down, bending your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, float your arms down. Last time. Inhale and exhale. Fingertips tented. Inhale. Try to keep your belly on your thighs. Let the crown of your head float down as your tailbone floats up. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, lengthen your spine. Remember your spine right from your tailbone, right through the crown. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, float the arms down, taking up lots of space. Take a sip of water whenever you need. Bring your feet closer, a little closer together now, engaging your thighs. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, interlock your fingers, release your pointers. Bring your arms right beside your ears if that's possible. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, let's bend to the right, arcing. Try to keep your top shoulder directly above your bottom. Nice, everybody. Inhale, up. Exhale, other side. Inhale, reaching up. Let your head float back. So again, back bends, purge kidneys and adrenals, amongst other benefits. Inhale, reaching up, separate your arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward. Let your heads hang. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, slide your hands down the front of your shins, bend your knees. You know what's coming up, chair pose. So transfer your weight towards the back of your feet. Bend your knees a lot, as if you were about to sit in a chair. Inhale, or riding a horse. Be a pretty skinny horse. Stretching and reaching through your arms. Really stretch. Exhale, folding forward. So all your forward bends, stretch the kidneys and adrenals, releasing tension. Inhale, one more time, come halfway up with your hands on your shins, lengthening. Pull your bellies in, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale. Draw your hands down the front of your shins, over your insteps towards the floor, and bend the knees one more time, bringing your weight towards the back of your feet. Inhale, sweeping up. Remember, in horseman's pose, you should be able to see your toes in front of your knees. So if you're too far forward, bring your knees back and sit back as if you were going to sit in a chair. This is also strengthening core. So Manipura, our third chakra, our solar plexus, connects with the adrenals. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Okay. You may want to use a block because we're going to do our standing postures from warrior 2 to triangle to crescent moon. So I think the heat is reducing. Well, I don't know. How's everybody doing? Those of you who like the heat are typically closer to it. We happy? If you're happy and you know it, never mind. Okay. Okay. So stepping up to the front of your mats. Evelyn's happy. Okay, step your right leg back, one leg length. Your front foot is 90 degrees forward and your back foot about 30 degrees. So not a lot, but you want a line from the heel of your front foot through the arch of your back foot. Lift up on your kneecaps, engage your thighs, lift your sternum up, lower your shoulders, and bend that front knee. See your big toe inside your knee? Press into the outside of your back foot and keep your shoulders right over your hips, not forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up and stretch them out. You should feel both of your inner thighs activated because with your back leg, you're pressing into the outside of the back foot. And with your front leg, you're keeping that knee pressed towards the side of the mat. Lower your front arm or your back arm down your back leg and reach that top arm up. Stretching up, reaching up. Maybe even looking up. And coming back into warrior 2. And now you're going to straighten that front leg and you're going to keep it straight. Both legs are going to stay straight. Reach over your front leg, reach forward. You can't reach any further. And then bring that arm inside and reach your top arm up. Imagine both of your shoulders are pressing up against an imaginary wall behind you. Nice. Front leg is straight. Straighten your front leg. If it's not straight, straighten it. And stretch up, reach up. Now lower your back arm down onto your hip. Look forward, bend your front leg. You're going to scooch your back foot forward. And if you wish, you can use your block if you need it for the height, or park your fingertips on the mat. Lift your back leg up and straighten your front leg, coming into crescent moon. And then lifting your top arm up and breathe. So strengthening our solar plexus, our core, both the physical and virtual, Manipura being the virtual, gives us the strength and the courage to navigate some of the difficult aspects of life. Bend your front knee as you step your back leg back. Let's come back and then straighten your front leg, coming into Trikonasana, reaching straight up. Inhale, coming up, turn sideways on your mat. Sideways on your mat, both feet pointed outwards equally. Exhale halfway. Tense your fingers on the floor below your face. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up, reaching up, stretching up. So you're light on your fingertips on the floor, the energy's up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep the other arm up. Exhale, walk your feet in towards one another, only until they're about 2.5 feet apart. Feet are turned out again. Bend your knees. Have your knees tracking over your toes. And let's come into goddess pose. So dropping your sits bones. Have a look. Your knees are tracking over your toes as much as possible. Inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up in victory. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower your hands and walk your feet in towards one another and give your legs a good shake out. We'll do the other side. How's the heat for everybody? Good? Okay. Again, coming up to the fronts of your mats. Step your left leg back one of your leg lengths at least. Again, heel straight line through arch of back foot slightly forward. So Glenn, turn your back foot towards me, your back foot. Yeah. Okay, bend your front knee. Have a look that you see your big toe. It wants to collapse in. Slap it. Push it out. Press into the outside of your back foot. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Inhale. Sweep the arms out to shoulder height, lifting up at your sternum, and your torso is straight up and down. It's not even slightly going forward. It's completely straight up and down. Plumb line through the crown, coming right down through the center. Lower your back arm, down your back leg. Follow your front arm straight up, looking up. So your back leg is very straight. You're still pressing into the outside of your back foot, activating your IT band, your quadriceps, your hips, your glutes, and bring your hands back to shoulder height. Now straighten your front leg. And again, lift up on your kneecaps so you really feel your quads activated. And then reach forward. You're not reaching down, you're reaching forward. Can't reach any further, let that front arm fall inside of your front leg. Other arm straight up, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Energy is up. One shoulder stacked on top of the other. Really stretch up with that top arm. And keep your thighs engaged so you feel really rooted and grounded. Then lower that top arm onto your hip, look forward, bend your front knee, scooch your back leg up, tent your fingers either on the mat, floor, or on your block, and then lift your back leg up. And lift your top arm. Keep your gaze down, it will help with balance. If you really feel balanced and you want to lift your bottom hand off the floor, you can try that. Not necessary. Crescent moon. Bend your front knee, step your back leg back, and come back into triangle pose. You're reaching up with your top arm, your front leg is straight. Both legs are straight. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, come on up. Once again, turn sideways on your mat. Turn your feet out. Hinge from your hips. Halfway, tent your fingers on the floor. And then let's lunge over to the right, bringing your butt as close to your heel as you can, stretching your inner thigh, adductor muscles. Inhale, up and over to the other side. And back up into the center. Walk your feet in towards one another and bend your knees and come on down onto your backs. Again, taking a sip of water whenever you need. Bringing yourself flat out on your mats for a moment. Turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. Let your feet splay out. Play dead, Glenn. Good. Let your bodies be soft and heavy for a moment, allowing the benefits of what you have just done to be absorbed. Whenever you have the chance, become accustomed to paying attention to your breath. Paying attention to your breath gives your mind something to do other than repeat a story or a thought. That's just what the mind does. My mind does it, yours does it. It's okay. But if you give your mind something else to do, like follow the breath, that's one benefit. Another benefit is that it brings us into the presence. The presence of this moment. And it also allows us, or opens us, I think is a better word. It opens us, our minds, to something greater than the minutiae, the repetitiveness, and the puny little concerns that we have on a daily basis. And when we're open and expanded in our minds, we tap into a resource that has its infinite, there's no end. It's huge. And that's where a lot of the richness, joy, potential enters first into our minds, our hearts, and allows us to be the extraordinary human beings that we all are. Inhaling in place, belly rise, and exhaling. Alrighty, interlock your fingers behind the back of your head and draw your knees up halfway towards your chest so your fingers are interlocked behind your head. You are going to bring your left elbow towards your right knee as your left leg straightens out. And release. Other side, you're bringing your left knee towards your right elbow and your right leg straightens out. And both knees bent. You can lower your head for a moment and then bring your left elbow towards your right knee. So we're doing very slow bicycles. And lowering, if you wish, your head. Your both knees are bent beside one another. Right elbow to left knee. Coming back to neutral, knees are bent. Exhaling, left knee to right. I think I did that the opposite side. Just be sure you're doing opposite elbow to opposite knee. Bringing opposite elbow to knee, nice and slow. Activating, working core, elbow to knee. Releasing, elbow to knee. Release. Last time, elbow to knee. And that will do. Bringing your knees up in towards your chest. Keep your knees together, feet and thighs. Take your arms out to the side, shoulder height. Have your legs bent at right angles, so your lower leg is at a right angle to your upper leg is at right angle to your torso. Inhaling in place, pressing the small of your back into the floor to engage your abdominal muscles. Exhaling, keep your knees glued together as you lower both knees over to the left, turning your head to the right and keeping your right shoulder and arm on the mat. So your knees may not go to anywhere near the floor. Doesn't matter how far they go. You're keeping the opposite shoulder and arm on the mat. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Exhaling, taking both knees over to the other side, keeping opposite shoulder on the mat and turning your head also to the opposite side. So again, we are nourishing, strengthening kidneys, adrenals, and your core, which is also home to Manipura, your solar plexus, your center of willpower, determination. Inhaling, coming back to the center, and exhaling, both knees one more time, over to the left and head to the right. You might notice you went a little bit further this time. That's pretty typical. But we are focusing on stretching your lower middle back. Inhaling, back to the center. Last time, knees to the right, head to the left. And inhale, come back to the center and take the legs all the way down in front and bring your arms beside your body. Now we're going to do fish pose. If you want, you can do a supported fish pose. You can use your block or your cushion and you can place it in any position. Now you want to make sure that the block is above your kidneys and adrenals. You want it basically at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and then letting your head fall back, opening up your chest. So first position for your block or your cushion, placing it at the bottom of your shoulder blades and letting your head hang over the back and arms out to the side. Now, supported is lovely. We can do it unsupported as well, where you lift your upper body and you let the crown of your head float down. It's your choice. The reason we were doing this is to open up the chest, to create deeper, longer breathing, which reduces stress levels in the body. So probably the supported version is going to serve us best in terms of relaxing the body, lowering the cortisol levels, tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, harmonizing, balancing, and nourishing. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling through the nose or the mouth if you wish. And then bending your knees, rolling off your block, coming up into a seated position for Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is a twist position. So your twist positions, your forward bends and your back bends, these are all super nourishing, whatever yoga postures you enjoy doing. Pull the flesh out from underneath your sits bones. Roll your thighs inwards. Bring your left foot outside of your right knee. Flex the foot of the straight leg. So you're bringing the foot outside of your knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below. Pull your torso up against your thigh. Feel your sits bones pressing into the floor. Take your left hand and prop yourself up. Keep that bent knee pulled up into your torso. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist and turn. Now, elbow might go outside knee or wrap your arm around your thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe twist a little more or just holding where you are. Focus or soften your gaze. You can close your eyes or keep them partially open in drishti. Inhale, reaching up through the crown. Exhale, releasing that twist. Counter twist to the other side. And come back to the center. And straighten out the bent knee and shake out the back of the leg. And place the other foot outside of the knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below your knee and pull your torso right up against your thigh. Feel your sits bones grounding, rooting down through the mat. Lower your shoulders. Place your left arm, right arm behind you. Inhale the other arm up, lifting up, stretching up. And again, either elbow goes outside of knee or around, whatever feels best for you today. Inhaling in place to lengthen, exhaling to twist, purging adrenals and kidneys. As well as your abdominal organs. So the kidney is one of your endocrine glands, of which there are about a dozen: your pineal gland, your pituitary, your hypothalamus, thyroid, parathyroids, thymus. All of these glands, your pancreas, they're all producing hormones that are necessary for the myriad activities taking place inside our bodies. Inhaling, reaching up through the crown. Exhale, release and counter twist to the other side. Coming back to the center, bang out the backs of the knees. We'll just do one forward bend. So again, pull the flesh out from underneath your sits bones, roll your thighs inward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift up out of your waist, exhale, lead with your hearts, keep your torso nice and long, reaching and stretching, flex your feet, and then let your hands drop and land and take hold of whatever it is they are able to as far out as you can. Keeping your spine nice and long to begin with. On an inhale, lengthen from tailbone right through the crown. You're going to feel that where your hamstrings originate. They attach to your sits bones. Exhale, lower. And now if you wish to round your back here, that will offer a little more stretch to the kidneys and the adrenals. We've done a lot of that in this class, so if you prefer to lengthen your spine, you can do that. You can play around, you can hold it straight on an inhale, and on an exhale, if you want, round your spine and drop your head towards your shins. And walk your hands back up your thighs. And we're going to do one more before Shavasana. Take your block or maybe your cushion, and we're going to pretend that we're putting our legs up against a wall. Vipariti Karani. So you're placing your block, your cushion underneath your sacrum, and you're just going to lift your legs up. This is nourishing. It returns the blood that pools in our ankles and our veins in our legs back towards the heart for purification. The kidneys, of course, that filter a half a cup of blood every single minute, removing toxins, excess fluids, other wastes. So just let your feet relax, your legs relax, supported, quote unquote, legs up the wall, the invisible wall. If you want to stretch your inner thighs, your adductor muscles, you can create a distance between your feet in wide leg. Or just keep them straight up. Kind of fun to be playful, to be open, to experience what the differences are, whether the legs are mostly together or wide apart. And bring your legs back together if they're not. Bend them. Place the soles of your feet on the floor. Remove your cushion and lower yourself back down, bringing your heels together as you straighten your legs. Let your feet splay out. If you have something to cover your eyes, now is a good time. Lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart center. Have your arms far enough away from your body that your shoulders are supported and relaxing. Shavasana remains as one of the most important postures in yoga, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, especially for those who experience or are experiencing a lot of stress. Feeling supported by the earth, absorbing earth telluric energy is calming and grounding. Becoming aware of your breath. Your eyes closed, eyeballs sinking into their sockets. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth, relax the jaw, and let your bodies be soft and heavy. Stopping and dropping, which is akin to meditation or shavasana, is a way of lifting the proverbial needle of the record player, of the record that's being replayed, that's creating undue noise and stress in our minds. So when we meditate, one of the goals is to stop playing the same tape over and over and over and create the spaciousness that allows us to remember that we were all born with incredible abilities and talents. And that if we don't access what is special about each and every one of us, we never feel really satisfied or joyful in life. We're always a little bit frustrated, a little bit running on empty, just a little bit lost. So the importance of being still creates the space that allows us to remember. And when you think about the word remember, re-member, putting ourselves back together as we were meant to be. Inhaling the life force long, full, and deep. And deep exhaling. Inhale and stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch. Point feet far. Flex and point. And then bring your arms straight up towards the sky. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and let your arms float down. Take your time to roll over onto your sides. And when you're ready, press yourselves back up into a seated position. A quote from Thich Nhat Hanh: feelings come and go like clouds on a windy day. Conscious breathing is my anchor. If you wish, join me in chanting Om just once. Sitting up as tall as you can, relax your shoulders. Inhaling in place. Om Shanti and Namaste. Have a beautiful day.